Welcome to the NBA's greatest games. Today, we'll take you back into NBA history and relive one of the great matchups as it happened.
It was supposed to be a coronation, another banner hung, another celebration, a three-peat, a dynasty. Instead, the only thing hung after Game 5 of these NBA Finals were the heads of the Chicago Bulls.
It is our destiny to win the World Championship. God wants us to win the World Championship.
Whether divine inspiration plays a part in this may be questioned, but there's no questioning the fervor with which Barkley is spreading the word. Sometimes he does it with a smile, but it's more than just talk. The Phoenix Suns have become much more combative, more sure of themselves, and now they're playing championship ball. Even if the Bulls come out of Phoenix with the title, they will have sweated for it. In the last few games in Chicago, this series has been redefined. The Suns simply will not back down from the Bulls. The Bulls are still flirting with history, but they could be flirting with disaster as well. 5 times in these playoffs, the Phoenix Suns have faced elimination. 5 times they've won. After what happened this improbable past week in Chicago, who's to say they can't do it again?
I just believe in my heart that it's just our destiny.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1993 NBA Finals. Tonight, Game 6 between the Chicago Bulls and the Phoenix Suns.
Less than 48 hours ago, we were in Chicago, where the consensus was the Bulls were about to make history, the Suns were about to be history. Instead, the Suns canceled the celebration in Chicago and ignited one of their own here in the desert. Look at this. 12,000 of the faithful greeting them upon their arrival in the wee hours Saturday morning. Welcome to Game 6, everybody. I'm Bob Costas, and so here we are at the America West Arena. Many of us are surprised to be spending Father's Day here. I mean, let's face it, the whole ebb and flow of this series has confounded even the deepest thinkers in sports. To put it bluntly, if Chicago wins tonight, it's very hard to conceive of Phoenix winning 2 of 3 in Chicago to bring the series back here. All right, go figure. And in fact, when we checked out of Phoenix after Game 2, the Chicago Bulls, the overwhelming majority of the press corps, and almost everyone else except the Suns themselves thought we wouldn't be seeing Phoenix anytime soon. So what are we to make now of where things stand? True, the Suns have renewed confidence, home floor, and they appear fresher late in these hard-fought games. And this, Game 6, is a quick turnaround, factors which appear to favor Phoenix. On the other hand, the road team has won 4 of the 5 games in this series, and Chicago has won all 3 games they've played in this building. 2 in this series, 1 in the regular season. So, what are we to make of these conflicting trends? Do the Bulls come in here dragging while the Suns are exhilarated? Or are the Bulls, as they have so often been in the past, energized by a challenge, fueled by anger at the impudence of the underdogs and the inconvenience of a return trip to the 112-degree heat of the desert? But of course, it is a dry heat. One prominent Chicagoan is quite clearly displeased.
As much as we can limit the confidence that this team may have, it's better for us. And I think if we can get it done now, we may be facing a tiger back in Phoenix. So I told the guys, you know, I'm not going back to Phoenix with you guys. If you guys want to go back and play, you're going by yourself. I want to get it over with right now.
Somehow Michael was persuaded to board the charter. Therefore, all the starting lineups are intact except for ours. Magic Johnson has taken a pass tonight to attend the wedding of his brother Larry this weekend in Lansing, Michigan. But Marv and Mike are in the house, and we head down to the floor to join them now. Marvelous.
All right, Bob. Now, Czar, you and Magic were adamant in making the point early in Game 5 on Friday night that if the Suns were to turn it around, they must do it through Charles Barkley. And as it did turn out, all the positives did evolve by virtue of Charles.
Magic said it right in the beginning. Put the ball in Charles's hands 40, 50 times a night. Let him decide whether to score against one-on-one defense or kick it out to his teammates if he's double-teamed. But we need to go back to game one in this building when Chicago tried to play him straight up, Horace Grant against Barkley. It's almost impossible to play him that way and hope to be successful. But Barkley missed a lot of easy shots that night. Chicago knew coming in game two that he wouldn't miss those same shots. So they came and double-teamed him selectively. Charles passed out of the double team, but his teammates did not swing the basketball and continue to pass it. One pass, hurried shot, they didn't make him. Chicago wins game two. When Phoenix went back to Chicago, however, you could see their offense had learned from the first two games. When Charles got double-teamed, he not only would kick the ball out of the double team, but then they were willing to swing it over to the other side of the floor, catch Chicago in late rotations, get good looks at the basket, and make their shots. It was a maturing Phoenix offense we saw in Chicago Stadium, and that offense produced two victories.
And in game five, the Bulls didn't receive their customary 40-plus game from Michael Jordan, but it was the supporting cast that came up with a weak performance.
Michael did everything he could to try and bring the third championship to Chicago. When you look at the numbers that he posted in the first 5 games, you realize that he is on course to break the all-time scoring record, average record of an NBA Finals, which is held right now by Rick Barry. But Michael alone may not be enough to win that third championship. He needs the help of his teammates, and two players in particular who struggled in game 5, Grant and Armstrong, who combined that average 30 points a game between them, came up with just a total of 8 in game 5. If Chicago is to win the third world championship, Michael will need the help of his teammates.
So this series rolls on, a series of home court disadvantage, moving back to the Valley of the Sun as the duel continues between Michael and Sir Charles.
Mike Mathis, N.T. Rush, Bill Cartwright will jump against Mark West, and the Suns control the opening tip. Kevin Johnson guarded by B.J. Armstrong. Dan Marley played by Michael Jordan. And here is Richard Dumas. Richard Dumas had the terrific game in Chicago on Friday night, and Horace Grant going to the hoop, and he hurt himself. Mark West, who was not in early foul trouble on Friday night, which was a major factor, picked up that foul. Horace Grant said after the game the other night it was the worst performance of his life. 38 minutes, 0 for 4, only 1 point, and the Bulls trying to get him involved right at the start.
You saw two things happen early for Chicago. One, Michael Jordan going to the defensive boards to help his team out. They were out-rebounded by 10 last game. Second was Horace Grant early, trying to get himself out in the open floor, pick up an easy scoring opportunity. Two things that were a concern after game 5.
Horace only 1 of 4 from the line on Friday night. And it was one of those situations where, with Horace, who has had a terrific playoff run, it was not the foul trouble that cost him the other night. Pippen able to keep it alive. Tries to feed Grant, broken up by Marley.
And perhaps on Scottie Pippen's mind, keep going to Horace early in the game. Let's try and get him going. When he's good, we're very good.
Nice lead. Dumas was rejected by Grant. Good look from Kevin Johnson, but Dumas was stopped. Michael Jordan on a pull-up. Yes. The Bulls 3, and the Suns nothing.
Just at the moment that Jordan was ready to pull up, Richard Dumas, who had picked him up in transition, lost his footing, slipped, and gave Michael a wide-open look at the rim.
Now Barkley backs on Grant. No help at the start of the move, and Cartwright came over, and a foul is called. So Barkley will go to the line. Cartwright picked up the foul.
The value of Grant to the Chicago defense, his ability to rotate over and block or change shots. And then an early commitment by Chicago. Here comes Cartwright late. They want to double team big against Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley, a 76% free throw shooter this past season. That was his best mark in his NBA career. Now the the crowd trying to get the Suns into it early. In this series, Charles, 35 of 46 from the line for 76%, but he misses on his first two. Marley. Dan Marley getting inside. The Bulls 3, the Suns 2. Armstrong played by Dumas. Johnson battling for position was called for that foul.
One way to get Kevin Johnson off of Michael Jordan is get fouls on him early. They feel that Johnson has the ability out in front to move his feet and stop Michael's penetration. Michael goes right down low, doesn't mess around with the perimeter game. Post him up.
Jordan. And Barkley on the run. Bulls able to get back. Now Cartwright over to help out. Again, the Suns play it beautifully. It goes through Barkley, and it led to the quick passing and the field goal by West.
Exactly what we had mentioned that Phoenix did in Chicago Stadium. Matured as an offensive team in the half court. Willingness to swing the basketball to the opposite side of the floor.
Shot clock at 5. Armstrong for 3. B.J. Armstrong, who had an off game on Friday in Chicago. Able to connect from downtown. The Bulls 6 and the Suns 4. Marley got the step. Yes, and it counts.
Go back a moment ago. Charles Barkley is going to read the double team. Here's the guys on the opposite side of the floor. Now can he get the basketball over to him? And are they willing to swing it? One pass, two passes, picks the defense apart.
We were talking with Dan Marley prior to the game about the fact that he has been more effective going to the basket. We saw that on Friday night. He now is taking advantage of the Bulls not allowing him the deep shot, and he's been getting the step as he did right there. The foul is called on Jordan, his first. It'll be Chicago ball, 13 on the 24.
You see the unusual matchups of Kevin Johnson on Michael Jordan, Marley guarding Pippen, and Dumas guarding BJ. The thought there, two superstars, Pippen and Jordan. Let's take one of them out of it, put Marley on. Pippen, reduce his game.
And Scottie Pippen will go to the line as Mark West is called for his second foul. So a quick 2 on West.
If Phoenix is to win, Mark West and Oliver Miller will have to play significant minutes in tonight's game. And the guy who must understand this is Tom Chambers. When one of those two big bodies are out there, they block up, they clog the lane, they reject shots, they put a big body against the Chicago team. Chambers is a different kind of player, not trying to take anything away.
Well, you can see the way the Bulls have been struggling at the foul line. Pippen hits 1 out of 2 from the line. Bulls 16 for 24 from the line on Friday and killed them 67%, while the Suns were at 81% from the line. The game is tied at 7. Dumas working off the dribble. Now Marley, again not given the room. Shot clock at 6. Barkley stolen by Jordan. Here's Jordan on the run. Jordan loses Barkley, able to steal. Charles did it with a smile, and now Barkley slices through to set up Marley for 3. The hustle by Barkley, and a timeout was called. Smart play by Charles. He indicated the timeout to Darryl Garrison, so he was able to save it. It's a 20-second timeout.
When Charles Barkley faces up and starts to put it on the floor, Michael Jordan was the next closest man. Michael's decision, do I leave Marley, the three-point shooter, and help out? He caught Charles right in the middle of the dribble, but Charles never gave up. Jordan loses the handle. Charles runs it down from behind, even gets a little chuckle out of it. Get possession, call timeout before you go out of bounds. Excellent move by Charles Barkley. There's a gentleman on the floor, Eddie Rush, one of the officials who, this is his 26th game in the NBA Finals. When you get to number 25, you receive receive a world championship ring. This man is to be commended for the number of years that he has put both in the ABA and NBA. Finals game number 26 for Ed Rush. Congratulations.
Yes, an impressive run for Ed T. Rush. Dumas with the save. And a foul call. A pushing foul. Shot to Scottie Pippen. That is a third team foul called on Chicago.
From the timeout, the backdoor lob, which is something Phoenix likes to do. The shove, the body up by Pippen.
Barkley backing Grant Armstrong, cheating over. And they work it to Marley. Yes, it's a three for Dan Marley.
Exactly the same thing. No more just one pass out. Now it's out and over, and it's tough for the defense to get there in time, particularly with Marley's range and his ability to stretch the defense out.
Suns lead by 3. They double on Jordan. Shot clock at 6. Cartwright. Bill Cartwright. Very quiet in game number 5. He has made his contributions, but they came earlier in the series, and they came against the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Final. He has been silent as of late. Suns lead 10-9. Kevin Johnson. And it's tipped home. Richard Dumas with the tip. Suns 12, Bulls 9, Jordan for 3, and Michael Jordan has tied the game at 12.
Phoenix has to be concerned that Richard Dumas doesn't get his head down and discouraged because he's guarding Michael Jordan. That's happened to a lot of players. They play so hard on defense and it doesn't seem to affect Jordan. They forget their offensive game.
Adam Johnson providing a 2-point lead for the Phoenix Suns. Open shot for Pippen. Barkley for Johnson. Goes all the way. Phoenix 16. Chicago 12.
I would think Phil Jackson's fine right now. He knew that Phoenix was going to come out and play with such an emotional high. It's a matter of withstanding it during the first quarter. Be close enough to then make a run.
Scottie Pippen with his first field goal. Marley breaking down. Marley had the rebound knocked away by Grant. And he was looking for a foul. Armstrong in a hesitation dribble. Crowd roaring. They thought he stepped out of bounds. Jordan hits another 3. So the Bulls lead by 1. Michael Jordan has hit 2 from 3-point land. 6:20 remaining in this first quarter. Game 6 of the best of 7. If the Suns win it, there will be a Game 7 here in Phoenix on Wednesday. Foul call on Armstrong. Well, some Phoenix players felt that Michael Jordan was fatigued at the end of Game 5 on Friday night. Charles Barkley, though, has a different point of view on that matter. We discussed that with Charles earlier.
I thought Michael was tired the last game. But, you know, the thing that amazes me the most, people want to say, why can't the Bulls hold these leads and what's wrong with the Bulls? Not what's wrong with the Bulls. It's that we got the best team in the NBA. We proved that throughout the regular season. And we're going to keep on proving it. There's nothing wrong with the Bulls. We just had the best record in the NBA, and we've proven that all year. We are the best team in the world.
Charles Barkley supporting the Muhammad Ali theory of ultimate confidence throughout this entire series. Honestly believes in his team and that they're going to get it done.
Armstrong with the open shot, and the Bulls now lead it 19-16.
These two teams have done it differently. All 7 of Chicago's field goals have come from the outside. Perimeter shots as Pippen comes up with the steal. For Phoenix, 5 of their 7 field goals have been layups or dunks.
Oh, hard foul given by Oliver Miller. And Scottie Pippen is shaken up.
There's no question that Phoenix liked what they saw in the last game about their physical defense. There's no way that they're going to allow Chicago to get to the rim for easy dunks and scores.
Oliver Miller checking in a moment ago, replacing Mark West, and here's Scottie Pippen to the foul line. The Bulls having their problems once again at the line.
You have to look at it this way. Between your two centers, and I'm talking about Mark West, Oliver Miller, you have 12 personal fouls to give up. Then you have Tom Chambers, a different type of center who can come in, use up 6 more. 18 personal fouls, don't let them get easy scores.
Bulls shooting very well, though, from the field here in the first quarter. They've hit on 7 out of 9, and they lead at 20-16. Dumas, Barkley, Miller up front, Marley, and Johnson at the guards. Now single coverage on Barkley. Here's Dumas. Well, Dumas has been off.
And the change-up by Chicago. No Bill Cartwright double teaming. That time Michael Jordan came on the double team.
Jordan coming late after Barkley was able to back into position. Here's Pippen. Marley to the drive. Pippen gives it back to Jordan, looking for his third three-pointer. The save by Grant. And the Bulls will regroup just under 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Jordan pitched it back out. Cartwright able to get back to it. Goes down. Johnson with the steal. 3-on-1. Marley from Barkley. Counts and the foul. Foul committed by Pippen. It's a blocking call.
Hustling after the loose balls. Cartwright gets control, but he doesn't have his balance. Goes down, loses possession of the ball, which turns immediately into a transition opportunity for Phoenix. Pippen tries to take the charge, but he's under the rim. The official's not going to give it to you there, so the block is called.
Second on Pippen. Danny Ainge has come on for the first time. Ainge replacing Dumas. Richard Dumas, a field goal, 2 points. 4:35 remaining, first quarter. The Bulls 20. The Suns 19.
Chicago a little uncertain, coming down exactly what they were trying to get into after that free throw.
5 of the 24. Grant. Jordan pitches back to Grant. Pippen with the stop. Oh, what a move by Scottie Pippen. And the Bulls now lead by 3. Ainge on a quick release for 3. Ainge has tied the game at 22. Armstrong for 3. B.J. Armstrong hitting on his second three-pointer from the very same spot.
It was Danny Ainge that left B.J. Armstrong, came over and closed the lane down so that Jordan couldn't penetrate and finish the play. Michael kicked it right to the deep left corner where B.J. makes a living by floating to the spot-up area.
Nice pass. Miller blew the shot. Bulls with a 3-point lead. Pippen with the spin. Bulls have hit 4 out of 5 from downtown. Jordan went to the crossover. And Barkley leads a 4-on-3. Fouled by Jordan. It's a blocking foul. That is his second.
Back a moment ago to Chicago on offense. Pippen, the great pass by Charles Barkley. You've got to try and dunk and finish the play. Jordan trying to step in to steal it. A little bit too much body in there.
And Barkley will go to the line. The Bulls are over the limit. Michael Jordan was able to strip Barkley earlier and was looking to do the same. That led to the foul call at center court. Now Phil Jackson takes a timeout. 3:09 remaining in this first quarter.
On offense, Scottie Pippen realizes that Miller can't move his feet. It's a matter, can he elevate over Charles? He certainly can.
And Scott Williams have come on for the first time. Just under 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Williams to the drive. Nice move by Scott Williams. And the Bulls have a 3-point advantage. Here's some light pressure, but Kevin Johnson brings it across.
It's a big start and a good start for Scott Williams. He's a guy who in the finals has provided them a spark, a lift. He hasn't done that in the last couple games, but already a score and a big rebound.
Paxson. He was looking for the three. Armstrong. Played now by Miller on a switch. Armstrong shooting over him. And a foul is called. Foul on the Bulls. A loose ball call. Looks to be on Grant.
The big first step and then the finish of the hook on the run by Scott Williams gives the young man a little energy, gets him back into the game. He has not contributed the way he wants to, the way the Bulls team needs him the last couple games. That's a good quick start for him.
And that last foul was called on Horace Grant. Chicago over the limit, so it puts Marley at the line.
And talking about Marley, there's another man who in Game 5 came up with 11 points already here in Game 6. 12 points for Dan Marley.
Including one from three-point range. In Game 3 in the triple overtime, these two clubs combined for an NBA Finals record 14 three-pointers. They already have combined for 6 in this first quarter. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Jordan, yes. And Michael Jordan has 10 points. The Bulls 29 and the Suns 26. Both clubs shooting well.
Michael Jordan saw the double team coming from the top, the foul line area. What he did is he turned immediately to the baseline away from the double team so it wouldn't affect his shot. He knows he can jump over the top of Kevin Johnson and get a good look.
Barkley. Charles continues to struggle from the outside. That's where the Bulls like to see him shooting from. A good position by Williams, but he was rejected. Miller with the block. Barkley felt the contact. Phoenix felt there should have been a foul in the backcourt as Kevin Johnson went down. They get the call up front. Armstrong fouling Barkley.
When Michael Jordan gets into this area and posts up, the double team is going to come from here. What he does immediately is turn away from it towards the baseline to get the shot off. If he turned to the middle of the lane, he would turn right into the double team. Instead, turning away, he gets a good look.
Michael Jordan with 10 points, leading the Bulls. Dan Marley leading Phoenix with 13. Barkley only 2 out of 4 from the line.
Number 21, Richard Davis, returns to the Suns lineup.
And now B.J. Armstrong will sit down. Trent Tucker comes on for the first time. B.J. 3 out of 4, including 2 3-pointers for 8 in all. Notice Charles Barkley does not have the pad on the sore right elbow, so obviously it is feeling much better. The Bulls 29, the Suns 28 with a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. Marv Albert along with Nazar, the telestrator, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, and a storm. Tucker for 3. Trent Tucker buries the 3-pointer.
So sit the league's best 3-point shooter down and B.J. Armstrong. Bring a guy in like Trent Tucker who does the same job. Puts 3-pointers right in the bottom of the net.
Chicago 5 out of 6 from 3-point territory. They lead by 4. Jordan lost it momentarily off his foot.
Because Oliver Miller stepped up big and wasn't going to let him to the front of the rim.
Give and go did not work between Jordan and Grant, but deflected out by Phoenix.
And you have to like the style of basketball. Pass, cut, get it back, look to try and play unselfishly.
Bulls with 8 on the 24. 45 seconds left in this first quarter.
Darryl Garrettson over perhaps talking about a fan, a heckler who may be bought. And there is the guy that he was talking about right behind the Chicago bench who was thrown out of a previous game here in this building by NBA security.
Art Jordan from long range. That's a 3. Michael Jordan with his 3rd 3-pointer, and the Bulls now lead by 7.
team. Grant and then Williams coming over, just like early in the game when Cartwright came to double team. Chicago changing up the people that come. That big one effective against Charles Barkley.
Final seconds of the quarter. Here's Paxson. Yes, it counts. John Paxson with a buzzer basket concluding this first quarter. And the Chicago Bulls with a good run to end the quarter. They lead the Phoenix Suns 37-28.
You work on dribble penetration, meaning try to draw two defensive players off the dribble. There's one double team off the dribble. It draws Dumas. He should never have left Paxson alone for an open shot to end it. John Paxson's not going to miss many of those.
A hot shooting first quarter for the Bulls, 14 of 22 for 64%, and they finish it up with a 10-2 run. Early last week, Phil Jackson made it clear that he was hoping the Bulls would wrap it up in Chicago because, you see, he had these tickets for a Grateful Dead concert, which was taking place over the weekend at Soldier Field in Chicago. And here's the reaction by Danny Ainge after the Suns were able to bring the series back to Phoenix. Said, well, we were motivated to keep Phil Jackson from that Grateful Dead concert, but that was for his benefit. I asked Phil about it before the game. He said, well, his wife and the kids did enjoy the concert back in Chicago. Bulls lead by 9:40 remaining in the second quarter. Scottie Pippen rebounded by Scott Williams. Yes, and it counts.
There's the active Scott Williams that the Chicago Bulls team needs coming off the bench, asserting himself on the glass. You would say playing big around the boards, goes after it. He has great hands, the strength, forces his way back up to score the basket, and now the free throw opportunity.
Scott too strong, but Pippen is there. That was blocked by West. 3-on-2. Marley for three. And again, it's Williams on the rebound. Scott Williams has been an enormous factor off the bench. Bulls lead by 11. Shot clock at 3. Armstrong got the step. And then took an extra step. Traveling violation.
I don't think Phil Jackson quite agrees that he took any extra steps. It was just a finish of a, if you call it 1-2. 1-2 and the hook. Pretty good argument.
The Bulls in the midst of a 14-4 spurt. Barkley. And it will be Phoenix ball. Charles Barkley is 0 for 4 from the field.
4 points for Barkley, 1 point for Grant.
All of Barkley's scoring coming from the foul line. Now Stacey King will come on, replacing Horace Grant.
When you have a player like Horace Grant who matches up against Charles Barkley, you understand that at the end of the night, if you're looking at points, there's going to be a differential probably in favor of Charles Barkley. But what you want is, you want the differential to not be real big, like the 28-1 differential.
Marley, 15 for Marley. Chicago leading 41-32. Johnson pressing Armstrong. King, Williams, Pippen up front. Here's Tucker. Trent is on fire. When he takes that shot and hits it moving to the left off the dribble, you know that he feels the touch. What a move by Kevin Johnson. The Bulls now lead 43-34.
Phoenix not giving Chicago's defense a chance to set up, get it in after score, get it right back at him.
Scottie Pippen trying to go glass. Danny Ainge with the rebound. Ainge for three. Yes. That is his second three-pointer. The Bulls 43, the Suns 36. Holding foul called on Johnson.
Transition basket. basketball. After Chicago scored, Phoenix comes right back at you. KJ pushing it. Again, in transition. The way they love to play. Secure it, get down the floor, and then Danny Ainge is not going to hesitate if you give him a look to get it up there from downtown.
Tom Chambers coming on for the first time. Played only 1 minute on Friday night following the 1 for 9 from the field in the previous game. Stacey King starting his move against Oliver Miller. Rejected by Miller.
You mentioned Tom Chambers on the floor, but he's on the floor as a power forward because that man, Oliver Miller, is playing the center position. So one of the two, Wes Miller on the floor.
12 on the 24. 7.5 remaining in the first half. King had it knocked away. Phoenix ball down by 7. Miller from Chambers. Miller missed the tip. Miller again. Rejected, and he's fouled.
That's 2 times Oliver Miller has had opportunities earlier passing Charles Barkley, the behind-the-back one. This time, a chance to finish and dunk. You must dunk the basketball. But one thing he can do, Oliver Miller, is block and chain shots with that long arm span. Here, he should be going up strong to dunk. It's Michael Jordan that he's going against. By trying to lay it off the glass, he misses the first opportunity.
And they say a non-shooting foul. The steal by Pippen. Ainge diving for it. Able to get it back. Chambers. Yes. The Suns coming back at the Bulls, who now have Michael Jordan back on the floor. They've cut it down to a 5-point. Chicago lead. Jordan lost it. Johnson made the play. And Jordan could hold on.
Kevin Johnson staying low to the ground, gets those hands in there, as coaches say, gets the deflection. A few moments ago, Danny Ainge came down in transition, pulled up behind the three-point line, and clearly hit a three-point shot. From what we understand, the officials have changed it and awarded him only 2 points. Scramble, madness, loose ball, bodies on the floor. Toby was doing too.
And Danny Ainge of the Phoenix Suns, only the 5th player ever to play for 3 different teams in the NBA Finals. Ainge joining the likes of Wilt Chamberlain, Clyde Levellin, Larry Faust, Max Saslovsky. Danny Ainge, a member of 2 Boston Celtic championship squads. Bulls lead it by 5. And Miller was pushed. Foul called on Cartwright, his second. Paul Westphal now has a front line of Miller, Chambers, and Marley, Ainge, and Johnson in the backcourt. Oliver Miller will shoot a pair. Oliver Miller making his first appearance at the line. He's a 71% free throw shooter. Oliver Miller, a player who has slimmed down to about 285 pounds. He had a weight problem right throughout his college career. I know Charles Barkley has been very helpful in giving advice to Oliver, who's worked hard at it and has been able to cut into that weight when you look back at what he looked like during the course of training camp.
And Charles Barkley, also a player who, when he came out of Auburn, was up close to 280 pounds, now plays in that 254, 255 area. He made a commitment to be a good player. I think Oliver Miller realized that he's got a chance to be an outstanding player, but he's got to keep the weight down.
8-0 run by the Suns. Bulls at one point led by as many as 11. It is now a 3-point lead. Marley played by Grant. Marley to the fadeaway. Grant with the save.
think it shows you the ability of Horace Grant to move those feet. He was isolated against Dan Majerle. He did a good job and forced Majerle into a bad shot.
Caught right for Pippen. Yes. Scottie Pippen, who did not have an impact game in Chicago on Friday. Rare off performance. Scottie 8 for 20, 22 points, but thus far tonight, 8 points, couple of steals. Played well. Pulls by 5. Pippen fires it down. Armstrong and Jordan at the guards. Caught right. Pippen, Grant up front.
Haynes trying to keep the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands. So what does Michael do? He can't get it on the outside. He goes down and posts up.
Shot clock at 3. Pippen. Chambers with the rebound. Kevin Johnson. And a loose ball foul called on Chambers.
If Michael can't touch it, then he can't shoot it. Danny Ainge trying to deny it without the basketball, so Michael goes down into the box area, waits for the team to reverse the ball, get it to him in that scoring position.
Here's Charles Barkley returning, replacing Oliver Miller. The Bulls are 4 for 14 from the field in the second quarter. They were 14 for 22. They were hot in the first. Barkley now guarding Cartwright, and Cartwright looks to post him up. The ball awarded to the Suns.
I see two teams out here, Marv, that because of the emotion of the game, the heat in the building, and the pace of this game are dragging a little bit right now. They're searching for that second win.
And outdoors, 109 degrees in the Valley of the Sun. 4:20 remaining, first half. Chambers with the step. Oh, goes for the reverse. Chicago's lead is 3. Bulls have missed 5 of their last 6. Jordan met by Chambers and foul. And the Suns are now over the limit.
So back to the offensive end. The good screen was set by Chambers. KJ got him the ball, and then leaving, no doubt, he took a lesson from Oliver Miller about missing those easy ones off the glass. Chambers throws it down with a little reverse.
Tom Chambers tomorrow will celebrate his 34th birthday. Players had back problems, hamstring problems. Discussion between Jordan, Pippen, and the 3 officials. Michael Jordan, I would think, is claiming. Although, wait a moment, the Suns are over the foul limit, so he goes to the line no matter what. So he cannot be talking about whether he was fouled in the end.
What Mike is on is
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that. After the,
he's taking full responsibility.
I'm going to keep quiet for a second.
Ainge's shot. 3 points instead of 2.
I'm protesting. I think they're going to award 3 points on the shot by Ainge instead of the change that they made to 2. I think the referees conferred and are trying to get it right.
Ladies and gentlemen, facing the previous field goal scored by Kennedy
Yes.
was a 3-point goal.
But how would they just suddenly realize that now? You can't go to replay unless someone told them that they saw the replay, someone from the league. If that's the way it was done, it's wrong.
Well, sometimes officials don't get a chance to confer until the next dead ball. They all get together, they put their thoughts together and go from there.
That was several minutes ago, though. But they made the change, even though it's the right call. If they got help, and I'm just guessing that might not be the issue here, that would be wrong. So the Bulls with a 2-point lead. We're down to 4 minutes remaining, first half. Barkley backing. Barkley gets inside. And that is his first field goal. The Bulls lead by 1. the shot. Williams fouled by Barkley. For Charles, his first.
Charles realizes that the double team is coming from the middle, so if he can turn to the baseline and get it up before they can get there, Scott Williams tried to come middle and readjust coming baseline when he saw Barkley turning away, but it was too late.
Charles Barkley 1 for 5 from the field, only 6 points. He's done it at the free throw line. And a timeout taken by the Bulls. 3.5 remaining. First half, it's Chicago by 1. Scott Williams to the foul line. Chicago is 4 for 10 from the line. The Bulls 47, the Suns 45, and light pressure being exhibited by Chicago. Marley protects the dribble, moving it across against Pippen. Barkley, played by Grant. It's a one-on-one, no help. Now here comes Williams. Barkley with the fadeaway, and he's off. 1 for 6 from the field for Charles Barkley.
Nice shot by Grant.
Williams. Got it back top. Johnson with the cutoff. Pretty pass. Barkley on the follow. Won't count foul before the putback. It's called on Grant.
What happened was Chicago got caught. 5 offensive players for Phoenix against 4 for Chicago because after Scott Williams made the strong move to the basket and no foul was called, he laid on the floor. Everybody else runs down. He thinks he draws enough contact. He tips it out but falls, and now he lays there. He can't believe it. Instead of getting up and hustling back, the frustration, 5 against 4, Chambers gets down.
Tom Chambers, an excellent foul shooter, 84% for the season. He can tie the game here. Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls are tied at 47. 2:45 left first half. Jordan looking to post up. Jordan with the duck under move, and he drew the foul. Barkley came over to help. Jordan went to the reverse. Barkley called for his second foul.
A little bit of change this time. Instead of turning baseline and shooting a jumper, he keeps the dribble alive, and now with the ability to stay in the air, draw body contact, and still try and get a shot up there. Michael Jordan will go to the free throw line for 2.
Bulls have gone cold in the second quarter after the sharply played first quarter. Suns with a 15-4 run, and now the Bulls lead by 1. Frank Johnson checking in, replacing Tom Chambers. Chambers hears it. 6 points, good job off the bench for the veteran Tom Chambers. The Bulls lead 49-47. So once again, Paul Westphal going with both Kevin Johnson and Frank Johnson on the floor at the same time, but it's Danny Ainge handling the ball. Jordan over to help on Barkley. Good job by Pippen on Marley. Shot clock out of 2. Frank Johnson got inside.
Excellent defense that time. Chicago double team. Phoenix got it out. Chicago made the rotations. Pippen down in transition, bothered by Dan Marley.
And a foul is called on the Bulls. Well, that stopped the fast break. And that is number 3 for Horace Grant. And Horace once again has been quiet in this first half. 0 for 3 from the field. 1 out of 2 from the line. Only 1 point.
what happened was Chicago came out shooting the ball so well from the perimeter that they really didn't have an opportunity to get Horace involved down low. They made a lot of perimeter shots that were going in. And remember we said last game, when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If that fatigue eventually catches up with you and you continue to shoot jump shots, you won't make them as well in the fourth quarter. It could be a problem.
And Scott Williams will replace Horace Grant, who has accounted for only 2 points the last 6 quarters.
So when you're struggling with offense, you do other things. You rebound, you play defense, you block shots, you change shots, you run the floor, you set screens. Horace Grant knows that. He'll work his way out of it.
Barkley 5 for 7 from the line. Suns and the Bulls tied at 49. Just under 2 minutes remaining, first half. This game 6 of the best of 7. Pippen with a beautiful move, and he's given Chicago a 2-point lead. The Bulls hoping to wrap it to make it 3 in a row, preventing a game 7 here on Wednesday. And the Suns looking to tie the series at 3. Barkley draws the double team. Here's Ainge, way off of that 3-point attempt.
Last time down, a little cat and mouse game between Marley and Pippen. Marley kept backing up, hoping that Pippen would shoot the jumper. Instead, Pippen took it right to him, just like B.J. Armstrong did in transition for Chicago.
And that is 3 on Barkley.
Once Chicago secures the ball and outlets it, B.J. takes it the rest of the way. Barkley goes up, tries to avoid the contact. B.J. helps a little bit by jumping into him. And Charles a little bit frustrated at the offensive end because he can't find his teammates in the spots where he can get a good look to throw out of that double team. He's either got to get rid of it a little bit sooner or they've got to do something else in their offense, a little wrinkle, change their cuts to the basket to help Charles see him more easily.
Mark West checking back in. Bulls now lead by 3. Phoenix assistant coach Scotty Robertson made the point the other day. He thought it was a blessing in disguise when Charles Barkley suffered that injured right elbow in game 2 because it forced everyone around Barkley to get more involved. But I don't think they were too pleased about Charles picking up a 3rd foul. They are keeping him on the floor. But there is truth in that with Charles not able to go at his usual pace. Other players were able to step up. And a loose ball foul is called. It's on West. And that is 4 on West.
I think that Charles Barkley went out to him when he first came out. The screen is trying to be set that time, and as the ball gets tipped away, West reaches out and pushes Scottie Pippen. But Barkley had gone up to West when he came on the floor and basically said, look, we need you out there to play big. That's the gamble that you take as a coach, putting a guy on the floor with 3. He may pick up his 4th before halftime. Charles Barkley, another player with 3 out on the floor for Phoenix. But then again, there is no tomorrow if Phoenix doesn't win this basketball game.
Scottie Pippen is now 2 for 5 from the line. Well, the conversation continues between Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. Chicago 54 and Phoenix 49.
I'm a little nervous for Phoenix with a minute to go. It might be time to get Barkley out of there. He has 3. You can hold on for the last minute.
And Johnson lost it. In particular with Mark West coming back, and you know Paul Westphal will be second-guessed on that. And West picks up a 4th foul. Armstrong, that was deflected. Marley got a piece of it. Barkley lost Williams, and Ainge saw it all the way.
Just like I said, leave Charles Barkley on the floor.
That was only his 2nd field goal. Chicago leads by 3. Half minute left, first half. Here's Pippen.
Not even a challenge that time. Smart by Charles Barkley. Let him go. He got you deep enough. If he makes it, he makes it. Don't challenge and pick up the next foul.
13 points for Pippen. Phoenix will hold for a last shot. 15 seconds left in the quarter. They are down by 5. 5 seconds remaining. Barkley off the dribble. Here's Marley. Halftime here at the America West Arena in Phoenix. We welcome you back to Phoenix, Arizona, as we head to the second half. Well, throughout the series, the Bulls' offense has been dominated by the scoring of that man, Michael Jordan. As you can see, 50% of the offense game 4, 42% in game 5 with his 41-point total. But today, it has been a different story. Percentage of Bulls points thus far, Jordan 29% with his 16 points. The supporting cast has stepped up, at least they did in the first half.
Actually, the last field goal attempt that Michael Jordan got credit for, because you don't get a field goal attempt if you're fouled and the shot does not go in, was with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. He picked up 3 points in the second quarter from the foul line.
And Jordan gets right back to it. The Bulls lead by 7. 18 points for Michael Jordan to lead Chicago. 13 for Scottie Pippen. B.J. Armstrong has 10. And Marley Hyman with 15 for Phoenix. Charles Barkley with 10, only 2 of 7 from the field. Here's Dumas. And he is fouled.
Excellent pass that time by Tom Chambers. He started to take the ball to the basket. He saw Chicago step up and rotate. He made the next pass on the swing.
Horace Grant called for number 4. 4 fouls on Grant, who has been quiet for the second straight game.
Pippen steps up as Grant comes over. He tries to avoid the contact, but it's too late.
Paul Westphal starting Tom Chambers instead of Mark West. West picking up his 4th foul in the latter stage of the second quarter. So it is Chambers, Dumas, and Barkley on the front line with Johnson and Marley in the backcourt. Now Scott Williams replaces Horace Grant. The Bulls very fortunate with Grant again being ineffective that Scott Williams has had a good one.
Horace Grant, you saw looking over at the coaching staff, kind of with this puzzled look on his face, as if to say, what are you doing taking me out this early? John Bach, the assistant, leaned over, held up 4 fingers and said, Horace, you've got 4 fouls on you. We need you at the end of the game.
Jordan. Rebound, Barkley. Phoenix trailing by 5. Barkley called for foul. Offensive foul. And that is 4 on Barkley.
Scott Williams caught in transition, tries to get over in front of him. The feeling is that Barkley initiated the contact by dipping the left shoulder. Charles can't believe it.
I wanted to travel on Cartwright. Scottie Pippen line drives it home. And the Bulls now lead by 7.
It's a tough decision now for Paul Westphal. Do you leave Charles Barkley in? Remember, he just told Hannah Storm that Charles is going to have a big offensive half, which meant they wanted to go to him. Now, picking up his 4th, he's going to leave him on the floor for the moment, but I don't know how long he can go with Charles.
Scott Williams called for the foul. And Tom Chambers will head to the line. So that's 3 on Williams. Chambers 2 for 2 from the line.
As a coach, what you're saying is, if I knew we could hang around without Charles on the floor, we buy some time. We take him out, we bring someone in off the bench, Oliver Miller, whoever it might be, to do the job, and then bring Charles back later on in the quarter or for the entire 4th quarter. But there's no guarantee. A team like Chicago could open it up quickly. You never catch back up again against their defense. So the feeling by Paul, go with them. They need this win.
And let's see how Paul Westphal plays it on the defensive end. Barkley has been matched with Cartwright, and the Bulls trying to get it to Cartwright. And now Charles picks up on Pippen. That's a 3-point attack. Williams with the rebound. Bulls now lead by 8.
You see a smart veteran Chicago team. They came down and saw that Charles Barkley was playing Scott Williams, so what they did is they played pick and roll with Pippen and Williams, knowing that Charles would have to switch on to Pippen, so he would try to pick up another foul.
Chambers knocked away from Cartwright. It'll be Chicago ball. The Bulls 63, the Suns 55. And now Barkley guarding Williams, who is not an offensive threat. Jordan tried for three-pointer. Johnson met by a double team and comes up hobbling. Looked like he got hit on the thigh. Barkley rebounded by Marley. And Marley getting inside. Chicago leads by 6. 17 points for Marley. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Scott Williams.
I'm not so sure that's the shot that Phil Jackson wanted there out of Scott Williams. A little bit too excited right now.
Chambers, yes. Tom Chambers continues to provide a lift for the Suns. The Bulls now lead by 4. 10 points for Chambers. Played only 1 minute in Game 5. 1 for 9 from the field in Game 4. Williams getting possession. Marley over the help. Shot clock at 4. The ball deflected out by the Suns.
They are so concerned about B.J. Armstrong spotting up for a three-pointer. And Richard Dumas, as soon as B.J. started to put it in the air, Dumas rotated out hard. B.J. takes the contact, knows he's going to get the foul call.
And now Scott Williams lifted Trent Tucker, who has played well. Checking in 3 for 3 for Trent in the first half in his 6 minutes of play. Chicago going to the 3-guard set.
That substitution of Scott Williams was just so that Phil could give him a little reminder that he wants them staying within the offense, executed, don't take hurried shots.
Oh, beautiful move by Pippen. A post-up move by Scottie Pippen. The Bulls lead by 6. 17 points for Pippen. Tucker over, trying to steal it, but stepped down.
You don't see Scottie Pippen post up a whole lot during the regular season, but he can be effective down there as well. He backs the rookie Richard Dumas down and then just shoots the layup off the glass.
Matchup now is Trent Tucker guarding Dan Marley. Chambers! Well, Tom Chambers showing the entire repertoire, and he cuts it to a 4-point Chicago lead.
You have to admire Tom Chambers for stepping up in a situation where they really need him. West with fouls, Barkley with fouls, Barkley not scoring a lot as B.J. Armstrong hits a jump shot. Chambers has come in and provided him with the offensive scoring.
Dumas. Kevin Johnson with the assist. 67-63, Chicago. Pippen. Rebound, Chambers. 5 minutes gone by in the third. Barkley getting position on Tucker, and a foul is called on Tucker.
Tom Chambers, who just secured the last defensive rebound, has come off the bench for Phoenix, provided a scoring lift, trying to help out Charles Barkley, who has struggled.
The crowd on its feet here at America West Arena. They've seen their Suns make another run, move within 4 of the two-time defending champion Chicago Bulls. 6:56 remaining in the third. Bulls 67, Suns 63. Scott Williams is back. Charles Barkley tried to go at him and then threw it out. Here's Chambers. He's been hot. Johnson gets to it. Johnson. And again, Johnson keeps it alive. That was batted to the backcourt by Paxson, who just checked in. Kevin Johnson off the dribble, lost it. Barkley on the recovery.
If you're saying to yourself, should Charles Barkley still be out there at this time, would you expect anything differently from Paul Westphal? They were down 0-2 against the Lakers, and he said, oh, no problem, we'll win the next three. The man believes in his team. He believes in Barkley.
It counts, and the foul. Pippen taking advantage of the mismatch on Johnson. Kevin Johnson tried to draw the charge, but it's called on Johnson.
Almost a strip by BJ, but good fortune for Phoenix. It winds up in Charles's hands, who has the finish. Then they find the mismatch. KJ trying to play Pippen. KJ tries to pick up the offensive foul by falling down. He's not going to get it. Pippen goes to the line now for the free throw opportunity.
Bulls by 4, and Mike, as we saw time and time again in the Bulls series against the Knicks, when Michael Jordan went quiet, as he has, it has been Scottie Pippen who was able to add another dimension to his game, and Pippen has come through with a solid effort here tonight. Chambers open. Well, Tom Chambers set up beautifully the last couple of times down, but not able to convert. Paxson, yes, that's a three-pointer for John Paxson. And the Bulls 8 for 11 in the three-point department. John Paxson hit 4 from three-point range in Game 5. Chambers, he blew the stuff. Chicago leads by 7. Armstrong for 3. Oh, they are on fire from downtown. B.J. Armstrong putting on a show. 18 points for Armstrong. That's his 4th three-pointer.
A double dose. This is the guy that used to start for Chicago and made so many big shots from behind the three-point line, John Paxson. This is the guy who has replaced him in the starting lineup, leads the NBA in three-point shooting. B.J. Armstrong, 2 different guys, same result.
Chicago leads by 10. 5:18 left in the third. Bulls trying to become only the 3rd team in the history of the NBA to win 3 in a row. No one has done it in 26 years. Only the Minneapolis Lakers and the Boston Celtics have won 3 in a row. Kevin Johnson and the foul. Johnson with the drive, and he was hacked. Foul committed by B.J. Armstrong, his 3rd.
You try to keep Kevin Johnson out of the middle of the floor. The problem is when they start him off with the basketball in the middle, he can go right, he can go left. It's tough to guess which way. Most times, scouting report says he likes that crossover right to left. BJ trying to play him for it, but give Kevin credit. He is so good at it. Even when you know it's coming, it's tough to stop.
11 points, 7 assists for Kevin Johnson. Chicago leads by 7. 2 minutes 20 in the third. They gave Grant the shot. Jordan. Rebound, Barkley off the box out.
Michael Jordan has no field goals inside layups or dunks. Right now he is 8 for 15 from the outside.
Kevin Johnson.
Horace Grant may not have many points tonight, but that time he did one of the subtle things. Put a big body on there, blocked out, let his teammate Scott Williams go get the basketball.
Pippen going to the left hand and switch to the right. A gorgeous move by Scottie Pippen. The drive to the left, and then he was able to change up to hit the shot with the right hand. And the Bulls now lead 83-74. And that, an illegal defense for the 2nd time, leading to the technical foul. Danny Ainge will shoot the technical. Charles Barkley will sit down. Oliver Miller is back. Barkley 16 points, 10 rebounds.
Here's where the illegal defense takes place. Barkley has the ball guarded by one man. Michael Jordan will start to come and stop right about here, then tries to get going again. You can't do that. It must be an aggressive double team. Stop, go, illegal defense. Aggressive is the key to it.
B.J. Armstrong, replaced by John Paxson. Bulls lead by 8. 1 minute left in the third quarter. Nice lead pass. Johnson for Miller. Chicago 83 and Phoenix 77. Well, the Bulls have been able to pull away to double-figure leads on several occasions, but have not been able to put the Suns away. Phoenix continues to come back at them. Shot clock at 4. Michael Jordan is 9 for 16. He has 24 points.
Excellent job. Chicago saw there were 50 seconds remaining when they got the ball. They knew they could run it down as far as possible, and still, if they get a stop, we get one more possession, 2-for-1 situation to end the quarter.
Johnson around Jordan and foul. Kevin Johnson with a beautiful dribble drive to beat Michael Jordan.
We had talked about that right-to-left crossover that they play for. Michael anticipating he was going to go right-left. Instead, KJ gave him the fake, kept it in his right hand, saw the alley, down the lane. Michael trying to get the strip from behind.
Jordan called for his third. Johnson is 1 of 1 from the line. Now B.J. Armstrong and Trent Tucker check back in. Phil Jackson looking for the long-range effect as they will hold to set up for the final shot with this third quarter winding down. Mark West sitting down. Richard Dumas will come on for Oliver Miller. 17 1/10 second remaining in the third quarter. A game that has seen the Bulls do it with the three-point shot. They've hit 9 of 12 from downtown. Armstrong has hit 4, 4 of 5. Jordan 3 of 5 from downtown.
Phoenix may go for a hard foul steal in the situation because they do have a foul to give, so you may want to gamble here. Go for it quickly, see if you come up with the ball without fouling, but don't let him get a good shot. There's the foul.
And that's the foul to give. It's on Marley, only his first. So the Bulls will inbound with 9 seconds remaining in this third quarter.
Smart move by Michael. He knew they had a foul to give, so he went early enough to make them commit the foul and still have a lot of time left now to run something down.
Trent Tucker hits again. 1 3/10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Dumas had to be careful. It high and wide. Trent Tucker off the bench to hit 4 out of 4 from the field for 9 points. After 3, it's the Bulls 87 and the Suns 79. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. As we head to the fourth quarter and Chicago leading Phoenix 87-79. The Bulls hoping to wrap the series. In this, the 6th game, Phoenix looking to force it to a 7th and final game here on Wednesday night. It is Phoenix ball as this fourth quarter gets underway. Barkley up front with West and Dumas. Marley and Johnson at the guards. Double team. Pippen came over, left Dumas open. Dumas not able to hit the outside shot tonight. Marley. The Suns regroup. Darryl Garrison indicating a leg lock kicking violation. Called on Pippen, so Phoenix maintains possession and they get a new 24. It has been an odd series. The Bulls are 7-1 on the road in the finals the last 3 years, and only 4 up, 4 down at home. Barkley. Cartwright with the rebound.
I would not be surprised to see the basketball go in Charles Barkley's hands 80-85% of the time here in this fourth quarter. Let Charles go, let him make decisions, score, pass to open teammates. Be the starter for their offense.
Shot clock at 4. Oh, Pippen. Here's Jordan. And Marley moves it back.
The only reason Michael shot that one is because he didn't know whether they were going to give him a reset or not on that shot attempt. He thought the shot clock may have been run down, so he was just trying to get it up there quickly.
Oh, Kevin Johnson landing on his left hand as he was fouled. Bulls have gone cold. As this fourth quarter opens up, they finished strong at the end of the third.
Keeping him in one direction, not letting him cross over. The foul on BJ, the hard fall by KJ.
Armstrong called for his fourth four-piece on Armstrong and Grant. Barkley has been playing with 4, as has West. Kevin Johnson is 4 for 4 from the line. He's an 82% free throw shooter. 18 points for Armstrong, who has done it with the three-point shot. Kevin Johnson has had another solid game. His first good one, though, here in Phoenix. Bulls 87, Suns 81. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth quarter. Again, it's Barkley guarding Cartwright. West rejects. Dumas in the open floor, and he's stopped. Armstrong stopped the ball. Here's West, and a foul call.
When Bill Cartwright started to make his move against Barkley, Charles backed off. Cartwright started to stumble. Mark West comes over and gives help from the blind side. Clean block. Then back at the other end, reward the guy that just made the big defensive play. Give it to West down low. Gets fouled by big Bill Cartwright.
Crowd reacting to the successful free throw by Mark West, who is only a 52% foul shooter. The Bulls by 5. Phil Jackson has a front line of Cartwright with Grant and Pippen, Jordan and Armstrong in the backcourt. Bulls with their starting lineup on the floor. Pippen. West with the back tap. Johnson accelerates. Jordan able to stay in front of him.
Good job by Michael of moving his feet, and then he did not give the ball back to Kevin Johnson.
Barkley directs traffic. Barkley backing Grant. Barkley changed his mind. Able to convert. Barkley very fortunate that Dumas was right there, and Chicago will talk it over.
The reason that Barkley was able to convert the pass is that Dumas came to meet the basketball. He shortened the pass between Barkley and the next receiver. By meeting it, it did not allow Jordan or anyone else to intercept it by shooting the gap.
Danny Ainge and the rest of the Suns reacting. Phoenix has moved within 3.
Defense for Phil Jackson. Take Grant out, try and save another personal foul on him. Put Scott Williams in to defend against Barkley.
Barkley off the fake. The Suns and the Bulls are tied at 88. 5:25 remaining in the game. Jordan getting the good look. He has 27. The Bulls 90. The Suns 88. Marley for 3. The Suns lead 91-90. First time they've led since early when they were up by the score of 16-14. minutes remaining. And the fourth. Here is Jordan. Yes. Michael Jordan answers. The Bulls 92 and the Suns 91.
You saw Phil Jackson talking to Paxson. I've got a feeling that he's anticipating Phoenix sees Michael heating up. They're going to go double a little earlier. He wants shooters in the spot-up areas that can break their back if they go and double Michael.
Scott Williams jumps out on a switch. Shot clock at 5. Barney for 3. Back tap by Barkley. Aim. Rebound West. Rebound Phoenix 93. Chicago 92. Jordan from deep. Way off. Marley met by Armstrong on a switch. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the game. Barkley stepping up for the jumper. Marley with the tip. And a loose ball foul is called on the Bulls.
Charles Barkley, after timeouts, likes to play from the top of the circle so he can ball fake and drive left or right. A strong move to the basket by Charles. And then down 2 points, Marley pulls up from behind the three-point line to give Phoenix a 1-point lead.
At 24, Bill Cartwright.
Cartwright on that foul, his 5th. Chicago over the limit. The Suns have only 2 team fouls. Barkley sitting down. So 5 apiece. I should say Cartwright sitting down. 5 apiece on Cartwright and Grant. Suns 27 for 33 from the line. Marley is 4 for 5. Phoenix 94. Chicago 92. The Suns with the season on the line, hoping to send it to a 7th game here on Wednesday. 10 of defense. Jordan had it knocked away. Shot clock at 3. Pippen back for Jordan. Air ball fielded by Marley, and that's a 24-second violation. And Michael Jordan has been out of sync in the second half.
Jordan gets down in the low post again, but the quick hand of KJ strips him of the ball. Now it's a matter of can he get it up before the clock runs out. In his haste, Michael shoots it over the top. 24-second violation.
Timeout called by Chicago. We welcome you back to Phoenix, Arizona, where the Suns have come from behind to take a 94-92 lead on the Chicago Bulls with 3:20 remaining in the game, and the Suns have outscored the Bulls 15-5 here in the 4th quarter. Bulls went 6 minutes and 10 seconds without scoring a point, and the 2-time defending champion Bulls look to be very tight. That's the case in Chicago on Friday night.
One of the things is that their offense relies on passing of the basketball. Marley with the 3. Barkley comes up with another offensive rebound. They rely on throwing passes, but they're not getting into the offense quickly enough. As a result, the clock is running out on them.
Kevin Johnson, yes. Suns 96. The Bulls 92. Scott Williams tied up. Or foul, let's see. It is a foul. It is number 5 on Barkley.
Try to keep Kevin Johnson out of the middle of the lane. One of the rules of the Chicago Bulls. Sometimes easier said than done. Charles trying for the jump ball situation. Instead, foul is called.
5 on Barkley with much time remaining. 2:45. They double up on Jordan. Here is Jordan. Yes. Michael Jordan cuts it to a 2-point Phoenix lead. 31 for Jordan.
Is there any doubt where they want the basketball to go? You got to rely on the guy that can put the money in the bank for you.
Armstrong called for that reach in.
Michael Jordan took the first double team, kicked it back outside. Then they go right back into him again. He knows that he's got time if he turns quickly to get it up over Kevin Johnson before Marley can return and trap him again.
5 fouls apiece on Armstrong, Grant, and Cartwright. Kevin Johnson to the foul line. He's 5 out of 5 from the line. He's an 82% free throw shooter. Kevin Johnson coming up strong once again. 17 points and 10 assists. And they are chanting KJ. 2:23 remaining, fourth quarter. Phoenix leads by 3 points. The Suns, 98. The Bulls, 94. Scottie Pippen setting it up. Shot clock at 5. 3 on the 24. 2, 1. It's another 24-second violation. And the Bulls offense is completely out of sync.
It's a classic case of the defense of Phoenix not allowing the guards to handle the basketball, BJ and Paxson to get him into their offense. As a result, Pippen's brought it down the floor the last couple times. They're not getting into their offense until 11 or 10 left on the 24-second clock. Then there's just not a lot of time to run the intricate cuts and patterns that they're used to running.
Suns with the ball and a 4-point lead. Barkley backing in. Rebound West. And a loose ball foul is called on West. He's called for a push.
Loose ball on number 41.
That is 5 on West.
For the last 2 minutes, timeout.
For the Suns, their 4th team foul, so the Bulls will not go to the line.
When the shot goes up, West fighting for position, hooks Horace Grant. No question about it, there's a foul as he follows it up for a tip-in.
Timeout taken, minute 46 remaining of the game. When we come back, it will be Chicago ball. Chicago at 1 point led by as many as 11. Chicago with only 7 points in the fourth quarter, outscored by Phoenix 19-7. The Bulls shooting 3 of 15 here in the fourth. Michael Jordan has all 7 Bulls points. So while Chicago was getting the balanced attack earlier, they have not been getting much help offensively. As Paxson starts up, Suns by 4, a minute 40 to go in the fourth.
Talked about fourth quarter fatigue, 7 points for Chicago.
Jordan and Johnson in possession. Now Phoenix, I would think, would want to play the clock a bit here. Now to a minute 20 to go, 15 on the shot clock. Ainge tried to draw the foul. Shot clock at 5. Marley from way out. And nearly got the roll. Rebounded by Barkley. Charles Barkley calling for the timeout. A sensational play by Barkley.
That rebound was number 17 for Charles Barkley. That's what he's told his coach he was going to do before the game. I'm getting you 17. He certainly has to work hard to get this one. The ball almost bounces in. The presence, the call, timeout before the turnover takes place.
That's the second time he's been able to call a timeout while in flight. Paul Westphal enjoying it. Charles Barkley with his 17th rebound, and it was an enormous one.
Look at the range that Marley shoots this shot from. Jordan tries to get out and challenge it. And as deep as it is, it almost still goes in. Then Barkley hustles after it, chases it down, calls timeout. And when you look at Paul Westphal, still finding humor in the moment as Marley's coming off. Westphal gives him the choke sign, signaling that he should have made that shot.
Very loose Phoenix Suns ball club. And they maintain possession off that timeout call by Barkley. We're just under 1 minute remaining. In this fourth quarter, Suns lead 98-94. Ainge pitches back to Frank Johnson. Rebounded by Michael Jordan. Now, Frank Johnson, not the man that the Suns would have wanted to take that shot, and Jordan is able to go the distance.
Worst thing that could happen, let him score and use up very few precious seconds. So now, if they can get a defensive stop without fouling, Chicago will have a chance to tie the game.
2-point Phoenix lead, 25 seconds to go, 10 on the shot clock. Pippen over to help. Marley eluding Jordan. Frank Johnson gives it back. Marley, oh, he went short. And it's a 24-second violation. Let's see. Ed Rush and Mike Mathis conferring. Apparently, Chicago had called for time. The 24-second violation buzzer did go off. Darryl Garrison giving the indication that it was a violation.
When Michael Jordan came up with the basketball, he looked up the floor, saw a clear path to the basket. Nobody moved over to stop him. They certainly didn't want to foul and give him a three-point play. So he scores and uses very little time.
13 and 6/10 seconds remaining in the fourth. The Suns by 2. It will be Chicago in possession. They put some time on the clock. 14 and 4/10 seconds now remaining in this fourth quarter.
And what the official is saying is that there was a shot clock violation first that took place, then the timeout.
And they just made another adjustment. 14 and 1/10 seconds remaining. Well, the Suns have shot only 41% from the field, but they have done it at the foul line. 30 of 36. They've also done it with 17 offensive rebounds. However, the Suns, with a chance to ice the game, have missed 6 of their last 7 shots. So the Bulls have been able to come back. In this fourth quarter, though, Chicago with a mere 9 points. They've been outscored 19-9. The NBA Finals record fewest points in the fourth quarter, 13. Michael Jordan has scored all 9 Chicago points here in the fourth. 9 of his 33. The Suns by 2. It has come down to this possession.
They want Michael to get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor.
Well, Pippen got the step. Here's Paxson for 3. Yes! The Bulls take a 1-point lead, and Phoenix calls for time with 3 and 9/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. John Paxson converts a 3-pointer in Chicago 99 and Phoenix 98.
They've done this at least 3 or 4 times in the game. Penetrated and thrown backwards to a man rotating back to a spot-up area. There's the man, John Paxson. Grant gets the ball out to the right man at the right spot, and from the time it leaves his hand, it's perfect rotation on the basketball. He feels it. The team loves it as they run back to the bench on the timeout.
And that is an NBA Finals record 10th three-pointer by Chicago. They've hit 10 of 14 from three-point land. For Paxson, his second. He hit 4 in Game 5. And now Paul Westphal setting it up. So another look for Phil Jackson.
Sneak preview on what they were trying to run. Now a substitution. Phil Jackson brings John Paxson into the basketball game. They want him to match up on Ainge. They want Williams out for a more mobile defensive team.
3, 9/10 seconds to go. Evan Johnson will inbound. Oliver Miller plays it. Here's Johnson. Johnson gets, no, he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant. It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have made it 3 straight NBA championships. A 3-point shot by John Paxson, the game winner. The Bulls with a record low, only 12 points in fourth quarter. That is a NBA Finals record low, but it was enough.
Michael Jordan, when that buzzer went off, first jumped so high, but immediately had the presence to chase the basketball down into the crowd. Whoever had picked it up, he wanted that basketball, signifying the third world championship in a row, and he went after it and got it.
And Paul Westphal heads back to the locker room. A disappointing finish for the Suns, who had rallied and taken the lead but could not put it away. And Horace Grant, a man who has struggled the last two games, comes up with the block to conclude matters.
Talk about the block. He did the last two things that mattered the most. He threw the pass back out to John Paxson for the shot. He gets that assist. He gets the block on that last shot attempt to preserve the victory.
Michael will allow you to speak first on behalf of your teammates.
Well, I think everybody put their effort out there. You know, from Corey Williams to Ed Neal, all the guys that were on the injury reserve. You know, this is a hard-fought three-peat. You know what I mean? It took a lot of work. A lot of times it looked kind of dim, but we stuck in there and we hung together as a team. And, you know, this is the reward of what the hard work does for you.
Thank you. The crowd here kind of blocks us from seeing the monitor. We'll try, but until Pax's winning three-pointer, you had all the points for the Bulls in the fourth quarter.
I knew Pax was going to make that. I just knew it whenever he got it. It was a great draw in. And, you know, for my part, I just try to do whatever I can. I hope you enjoy it, Bob. It feels good right now.
Is it joy, or is it relief, or is it a combination? This has been a great year, but a tough year.
It's both. You know, it's a relief. Plus, it's great to win. You know, I think we've gone through a lot. Me, personally, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs. But to cap it off this way means a lot to me, believe me.
I hate to make you look ahead, but you've talked about retirement in a year or two. Could you step aside if the streak is still intact?
No. You know, my love is strong for this game right now. And that's how I'm looking at it. And I'm going to be here as long as my love is strong.
We're going to roll in some of the plays from the fourth quarter. I don't know if we'll be able to see them. Try and make a little space here, guys, for Michael to take a look. And the one that I'd specifically like to talk about, and we'll get to it in a minute, would be your last basket. They're up by 4 when Frankie Johnson misses a jump shot, and they let you go the length of the floor, used up very little time, and they never touched you.
I don't think anybody saw me. You know, I think once I got the rebound, everybody was running to the three-point shooters. You know, I just kept putting pressure on the defense. And right before I get to go to the basket for the layup, Scottie Pippen grabs Marley, but you can't get to the basket and try to stop me. So that was a big play.
Now, on the last play, you had to give it up in the backcourt. Never touched it in shooting range. Pippen gave it to Horace and then back to Pax.
Well, the plan was to get the ball to me, get it to Scottie, and cut off of Scottie. If I can get the ball back. But he turned it around, gave it to Horace, and then Horace kicked it back out to Paxson. And once I saw Paxson get the basketball, I knew it was good.
Where is John Paxson? Where's Pax?
Get in here, Pax.
Move him in here.
Way to go, Pax.
A couple of years ago, you scored 10 points on clutch jumpers in Los Angeles and what turned out to be the winner. You had a big fourth quarter against Portland as well in the 6th game last year, and now the shot that wins the championship.
Yeah, this is a dream. What can I say? Maybe we were the ones destined to win after all. What a great feeling. I can't describe what I feel.
Before we continue, Michael, I know you want to jump down. This has been in many ways your year with the Dream Team and with the certification in the minds of most now as the greatest to ever play the game. A final thought on what this means to you and your team.
Well, I think it means a lot to us. I mean, because we make history. Very few teams have done this. You know, especially when so much parity in the league right now, this is a major accomplishment for the franchise and for the team. And, you know, for me personally, you know, I think it was something that I was looking forward to separate myself from Magic and Bird. They never did it, and I did it. So that makes me, you know, feel special, I believe it.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Kevin Johnson will inbound. Oliver Miller plays it. Here's Johnson. Johnson he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant. It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have made it 3 straight NBA championships.